Hey guys, so hopefully I'll make this fairly short, but who knows, you know how I am. So I was working on this today, went ahead and knocked these runs out, trying to kind of get it squared away, and started polishing it. Oh, shit. And that's just in the first initial compound there, which is lucky for me because it saved me quite a bit of work. But right here, you really can't see that. Of course, you can see the tire, the wheel real good there. But anyway, so yeah, you wouldn't think, oh, any big deal. Well, what happened? I sprayed this so heavy through here that I had a couple of runs. I mean, it's on there thick, fantastic. For whatever reason, right here on this edge, it was a little bit dry sprayed, and I thought, well, I'll just cut that out because a lot of times you can do that. Well, obviously it was too thin. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You can only see it with the sun gun, which is up here. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's what you call cutting through your clear. So guess what? I get to repaint that and clear it after doing all that damn work. So welcome to the wonderful world of body work. That's irritating as shit, but it is what it is. So I'll knock that down to 1,000 grit. I'll dust some black over this edge, and I'll re-clear that thing again. Big deal? No big deal. That's no big deal. Here's the big deal. I have to remask this whole damn thing again. That's a big deal. That's a lot of work. So irritating. I don't know. I may just stick this plastic back up, throw some paper around that, hit it again, and whatever shit lands in it, just freaking sand it all out. We'll see what happens. Irritating. Haven't worked on any of the other stuff. As you can see here, I've got a Ford in my my shop. So my daughter's boyfriend's truck, he took it to work, got out in it and started it up. It was running fine. It kicked off high idle and died. Once it died off high idle, it wouldn't fire back up. So he had it towed over here, and we fiddled with it a little bit. I'm not a mechanic. He's not a mechanic. And you can see here he's got it all dolled up, Edelbrock intake, got all the fancy wires and chrome and stuff and all that kind of good stuff. Got a good Optima battery. It's you know, for a Ford, it's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, it's as cool as you can make a Ford, I guess I should say. But anyway, so being that I'm not a mechanic, he brings it in and I'm like, hey, just try to fire it up and see what happens. So it fires up, but it's running really crappy, and it flings the freaking serpentine belt off completely, flings it off. And I'm like, what the heck? So we check all the pulleys and make sure they're all, you know, spinning freely. I'm thinking, well, maybe something locked up and kicked that off or something, you know. No, they're all spinning freely. So we put it back on. I messed with the timing just a little bit. Didn't really seem to make any difference at all, other than the fact that it did fire up. Once it fired up, it stumbled quite a bit, and then it kind of smoothed out. And then finally it did smooth out. I mean, it ran kind of crappy to begin with. It was just kind of just sputtering and shaking and doing the whole thing. And I was like, all right, that's not, you know, something's going on. There's something wrong. So I checked all the plug wires. I took the cap off. I checked the rotor, cleaned the rotor bug up, cleaned all the inside of the, you know, all that kind of stuff. The wires are pretty much new. And so this is a EFI motor. I don't know that much about these, but you know, it's got fuel injectors, all that kind of stuff. It's getting in. Finally, we got it fired up and it got it to idle and smooth out real good. It actually was running like it's supposed to. But it was just, it's one of those deals. It's like it's kind of a random thing, you know. I mean, okay, so it's running fine now, but then you go somewhere and then it, you know, dies and won't start or whatever. And it's like, what the hell? It's not throwing any codes that we know of because no lights are coming on inside the dash. Now it's a 93, so it's before, you know, a lot of stuff, but so we're kicking around what it could possibly be. So if any of you Ford mechanics have any ideas, we're all ears, because like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I do body work, and he's you know, not really a mechanic either. But I was gonna say I'll fire this up real quick and we'll see if it fires up and stumbles around and see if you guys have any ideas. But I'm gonna open the door because last time it blasted us pretty bad in here, so I'll bring you right back. Alright, let's see what she does here. You hear the fuel pump kick on. This will kick off a high idle here in a second, and it starts kind of sputtering around a little bit. Kicked off. This thing's kind of rattling off that. It seems to be running fine right now, but he said it didn't happen until it got cold and he took it to work and it wouldn't restart. Of course, now I got it at my shop, which is heated, so you know, it fired back up. But man, when it did fire up, it just acted like it was super rich. Like it just, fuel smell was crazy. So I'm wondering if there's not something going on with the fuel, some sensor or something of, you know, this doesn't have a mass airflow, it has a MAP sensor. So I don't know. Yeah, it seems to be running fine, but like I said, it's one of those deals where you drive it off and then it dies and won't restart. It's like, you know, that's a bad deal when it's 11 degrees outside, which is what it is right now. Anyway, I thought I'd run that by you guys and see what you think, you know, maybe what to check. Right now it seems to be running fine. But this thing sat in the parking lot for 2 days because it wouldn't start. So it's one of those things that's kind of the gremlins coming and going type thing. Let me kill it again and see if it wants to restart. Yeah, fired right back up. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas. It's one of those crazy deals where I'm kind of out of my element on the mechanic stuff. I can change, like I said, I can change any kind of part you want to throw at me, but diagnosing stuff is a pretty big weakness of mine. So yeah, I've swapped motors and done all kinds of stuff and had them apart and put them back together and you name it. But again, when something quits and you got to sit and diagnose it, then that's my kryptonite, I guess. All right, that's gonna be it for tonight. I said that thing there, I'm just gonna have to redo that. I'm gonna finish the rest of it and make sure I don't have any more issues. That one little area there was just a little thin, and man, it bit me in the ass, but it's part of it. So I'll get back in here a couple days after I get this all knocked out, and may go ahead and spray her again real quick. It shouldn't take a couple ounces to respray that. So, and you can kind of, nah, you really can't see. I was going to say you can kind of see where it was a little bit peely right through there, like it's just a little bit dry sprayed. Maybe you can kind of see on the edge there. And I thought, well, there's going to be enough there for me to go ahead and cut through, to cut through, and that's what I did. So, you really can't just respray the top of that because it just doesn't work that way. They call that a burn, and guys do that. I've seen them do it on car lot cars. Well, they'll come and spray a little bit of black in here and then blend it out into this area here. Well, it's like that Honda that I showed you guys where it has a burn area. It'll come back and it'll have like a ghosty looking funky area there, and you don't want that, and it looks like crap. So especially on black, you're gonna see everything. So anyway, yeah, seemed like I wasted a day today doing all that, but I guess I had to get them runs out anyway. So all right guys, see you.